Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, all viewers, my dear students. Welcome my today's online class. How are you, my students? Hope you all are well by the grace of Almighty. So, my students, welcome to all my today's online class. I am Parvin Akhtar, lecturer English, Rampur Ideal Alim Madrasa, Sadar, Jatpur. Today I am going to take a class for Alim first and second year, and our lesson is completing sentence part 2. I have already done for you completing sentence part 1, and it is our second part, completing sentence part 2. So my students, welcome everybody to my class. My students, I request you to take your exercise book and pencil and enjoy the class. If you have any question, note down that question and ask me in my inbox. So let's enjoy the class. So my students, look, here are two sentences given. He talks or the old man behaves. And the next part is incomplete. Can you guess what types of sentence it is? Yes, he talks as if she knew everything. And the next one, the man behaved as though she were mad. Here, this sentence were incomplete and we have completed this one. And can you guess our today's topic? Yes, our today's topic is completing sentence part 2. I have already taken your the class completing sentence part 1, and our today's topic is completing sentence part 2. So let's enjoy the class. Learning outcome. What we will be able after this lesson? Identify the definition of completing sentence, identify the method of completing sentence, and complete incomplete sentence. So let's know at first what is a completing sentence. So when a part of a sentence is completed with a clause or a phrase is called a completing sentence. Clear, my students? I have already shown you when a part remain incomplete and we have to complete this. This is called completing sentence. So next, we have already done method 1 to 15 in our completing sentence part 1, and today we will start from method 16. And the first part of our today's class is as if, as though. I have already shown you two examples of as though or as if. So next, enjoy the next example. So as if, as though, here we learn. Let's see how many structure we learn here. Structure 1, main verb, that means present, as if or as though, then past form. Clear? If the part 1 verb present, the part 2 verb will be past. So here is the example. He eats as though he didn't eat for some days. So clear, my students? Here eats is a present form. So as though he didn't eat for some days. So main verb present, the next one will be past, didn't eat. This is the past. She eats as though she didn't eat for some days. Clear, my students? This is the structure 1, present then past. Then structure 2. If the verb, first verb is past, then the second verb will be past perfect. That means verb 3. Let's see an example. They seemed as if I hadn't spoken. So here this is seemed verb 2 and hadn't spoken verb 3. Verb 3 means past perfect. And structure 3, as if or as though, be verb where. If there is be verb, that will be where. Here is given two example. The man talks as if he were the king. This is be verb. The man talks as if he were the king. The girl behaved as though her father were the president. So in the case of be verb, where it is not matter what subject it is. He, she, it, you, I. That means any persons you have to use where in the case of be verb. So you have to note here the incomplete part of method 17 in case. So present, here is also to structure present in case, present future. Look at the subject. He carries an umbrella in case it rains. That means verb present, and the second one is also present. And past in case past. She went there in case she met her friends. Here the verb is past and the second verb also past. Here verb is present, second verb present, and second one is also present. Here this is past and the second verb is also past. Clear, my students? So complete the following sentence. It is for you. I can do one for you. I waited in the station in case I waited. So verb 2. The second one also will be 2. I waited in the station in case I met my friends or met my cousins or met my father or met my relatives. Clear, my students? Next, method 18. What is the topic? Would, that, wish, were or had. Unreal past. First sentence. I wish I were a child again. See, here it also you have to remember after I wish you have to always use were in the case of be verb. It is not matter whether the subject is he, she, it, I, were. That means any person you have to use were. And the second one, had I much money, I would have set a school. That means had I much money, if the sentence start with had, you have to use would and verb 3. Had I much money, I would have set a school. So note, would, that, wish, were plus had. In the case of be verb, we have to use were, I have already mentioned. And would, that, wish, were, had other verb, could or would or base form of verb or would have verb 3. Here we have used would have and verb 3. Here are given 2 extra example for you to done. Had I wings the bird, so what will happen? Had I wings the bird, I would have flown in the sky. Had I wings the bird, had I wings like bird, I would have flown in the sky. In the same way, we will do the next one. Then another method. No sooner had then, or scarcely had, or hardly had when. You have to remember, and there is no sooner had, ... then, but scarcely and hardly you have to use here when. Clear, my students? Then and when. Let's see some example. First one. No sooner had we gone out. So no sooner had we gone out, what would be? Then it began to rain. No sooner had we gone out, then it began to rain. But scarcely had we gone out when it began to rain. Clear, my student? Thus change then when. Instead of then, we used to use when. And hardly had we gone out when it began to rain. Clear? So these are for you. No sooner had she seen the baby. No sooner had she seen the baby, what will happen? Then she burst out into laughter, or she embraced her. So it is your work, individual work. You all will done this work. Will have finished this work in your exercise book and can take a pic and send it in my inbox. He behaves as if I have already mentioned all the rules here. You will complete it observing the rules. Method 20. If. Structure 1. If plus present simple, then will be future simple. First one. If it rains, I shall not start for college. Clear, my students? Present simple rains and then shall not start future simple. If it rains, I shall not start for college. Then if you come in time, I shall go with you. Also present and future. Then structure 2. Past indefinite, then would or could plus verb present form. That means base form of the bird in the case of past simple. If it rained, I wouldn't start for college. Clear? So past simple, then there the next structure would or could, then verb 1. Look at the verb 1. So complete this. If you do not respect others, what will you will do this? If he came, then structure 3. Past perfect. In the case of past perfect, you have to use would have or could have, then verb 3. That means past participle form of verb. Look at the example. If I had read attentively, so I would have made a good result. Clear? Had, in the case of had, then you have to use would or could, would have, then verb 3 made. If I had read attentively, I would have made a good result. Then 4. In the case of had plus past participle, there you have to use would have and could have past participle. Like if had. Had he gone there, so she could have met her parents. Again, had, look at the structure, had past participle form. If there had past participle form, you have to would have and have, then verb 3. Structure 5. If subject were would verb present form. Suppose if I were a queen, I could have helped the poor. I could have helped the poor. Verb present form in the case of were. Of all these are unreal past. Then method 21. If whether or if whether ... not. Very interesting example. She asked me, if or whether my name is Shumi, that means she is not know that she wants to know my name is Shumi or not. So he asked me if or whether my name is Shumi. I asked him if or whether his mother was well or not. That means someone want to ask you a question to be confirmed. Mother asked me whether I will go to college or not. These are the structure of if or whether. So complete the sentence. I don't know. Father asked his son whether. Method 21. As. So structure first one as past. Both remain past. Here are given example. As she grew older, she became weak. So verb 2 and verb 2. As the thief saw the police, what will be happen? He ran away. As the saw and ran, verb 2. These are extra example. The fog disappears as the sun rose. So verb 2, verb 2. Do as she tells you. As you sow, so you reap. More examples. So this is your pair work. Pair work, 3 minutes only. I asked her if or whether if I had a car, I would go there if had she studied attentively, do the work as. All these rules I have already mentioned or discussed with you. So you'll be able to do it very easily, I wish. Then method 23, when or whenever. So first one, past. When past? Look at the example. The student stood up when the teacher entered the class. Here my student, verb 2, and here also verb 2. You can give more option here. Available option are here. Then present, when present or future. So call me present when you have finished or you will finish. This is present or future. So more example. When it is raining, she was sleeping. So this past continuous and past continuous. 1971 is the year when Bangladesh became independent. She became happy whenever she becomes happy whenever she see him. Whenever. Then method 24. What? Whatever. First one, I like what she says. That means what she says, I like all his sayings, all his talkings. Whatever he says is false or is true or is wrong or is correct. What is loaded cannot be loaded. Complete the sentences. I like what? Whatever they do, I understood what. Clear? Method 25. How, however, where, wherever. So you know how and however. So here are examples. This is the method. What will? How I solve the problem. This is the method how I solve the problem. So however strong you may be, which item you will hear here, however strong you may be, you can't overcome this problem. This is however. However strong you may be, you can't overcome this problem. So this is the place, you know, in the case of place you have to use where. So this is the place where my mother was born, or I was born, or I was studied, or I spent my early life. My father was born, etc., etc. Or Kazi Nazrul Islam was born. She finds you wherever you are. That means she will find you. She will find for you wherever you are. So this is your homework, my students. You all confirm your homework and can take a peek and send this homework in the inbox. So first one, we shall go if. In the rule of if, hardly has she seen me. Have you remember? Hardly had. Then if you came in time, structure of if rule, structure 2. As she was young, the structure of as. I went to college in case. I have already discussed with you in case. Let him do. What will? Can you guess? Whatever. No sooner had I reached there. No sooner rule. This is the place, and you have already mentioned this. The baby is sleeping. If I had finished my work in due time. So all these structure and rules I have discussed you in my class. So my students, you will be able all to do your homework. If you have any problem to understand my class, please ask me in your question. Thanks to all. See you again in the next class. So my students, Allah Hafiz. Till then, thank you. Allah Hafiz.